Hello everybody, it's Nikki Knox again, recording part 3 of the Get Out of the Hamster Wheel. I recorded 2 other shorter podcasts, so as I said, I'm going to stick to 30 minutes, and I think that's why my podcasts are now going to have parts to them. So part 2 ended with me probably creating more panic in your life, because I said, you need to think about every little thing, every little move you make affects everybody else. If you're a giver and you're already full of guilt that's placed on you by others and you piled on yourself, it's not very helpful. So let's try and find a way out of it then. So for you right now, if you are someone who's spiraling and now got triggered by me saying, it's your accountability, blah, 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 I need you to stop. All you need to do is stop doing anything. Just take some time off. Or after work, if you don't take some time off, doesn't mean take a week off work or get signed off necessarily. It's you can, if you feel it's that severe, absolutely do that. But also take some time off means instead of rushing to the train after work or to your car and going straight home and just doing your duties, blah blah blah, just don't do it. You just, instead of catching the train that's straight after work for you to go and then perform, catch the latest train you can and spend that time somewhere in nature and take a break after work. Take a break from your usual duties after work if you can't take any time off work. Maybe if you skip one train, it's going to make a huge difference as well. If you're just going to go put your headphones on, let's say, and even sit in that train station and just have a coffee, and you just sit there and listen to me, to anyone, listen to some frequencies, listen to some meditation music. Maybe you're going to go to a park and walk barefoot for a bit. Maybe you're gonna find a safe space. It could even be your car where you can take a little nap. If you just put some, calming music to just wind down, and you're just gonna sit in your car, put your seat back. Even if you're still at the car park, you don't need to go anywhere. It's like you've done enough in a day. And you just close your eyes for a minute and make sure your phone is on silent, and you just say, I'm gonna be delayed if somebody absolutely needs to know what you're doing and where you are and stuff like that. If you're that in such a controlling place where somebody always needs to know and they get worried and stuff, so make sure you don't cause anybody any stress by disappearing. But absolutely, if you tell your husband or whoever is waiting for you to come back and they're used to seeing you back at certain time, if you just tell them, I'm gonna be late, I need to do something, and you can explain it later, but you just say, I just need a couple of hours, I'll be late. And then you just sit and close your eyes, put your seat down, and just let your thoughts flow. And that's, just let them flow. And you will either switch off and fall asleep, which would be ideal situation, or you're gonna have a lot of thoughts coming into your head that you can categorize into emotions or feelings. You just lay there, and whatever's coming in your head, just think about it and just think, is it emotion or is it feeling? Emotion or feeling, and just file them. You just lay there and keep filing them. This is emotion, this is a feeling, boom boom, just keep doing that. You're gonna fall asleep really quick because it's boring, but also that's how your mind relaxes, because your mind is panicking because all of those files, all of those pieces of paper are scattered all over the place, and your mind likes to be tidy. So you taking some time to just classify things, start putting them in a folder, your mind will pick up algorithm really quickly. So you're gonna say, this is emotion, this is a feeling. So you'll do this for a bit, and the reason why you're gonna switch off after a while is because your mind picks up the pattern and it just goes, okay, you sleep, I'll just do it on auto. So machine learning, we are a little, in many ways we are little machines, little cyborgs, to be fair. The mind can be programmed. So if we program it into being organized like this, it's gonna be less easy to then get everything scattered again the way it is right now. And maybe you're gonna have to do it for a week. Yeah, it's good practice in general to just get it done so that you don't lose control of what's going on, so that you don't spiral anymore. But maybe this one little session is gonna change everything for you. So it's always about just showing some kindness to yourself. So if you can't yet do anything to completely change, to make a huge change in your life, maybe the best thing for you to do is to stop doing and just allow yourself assess the situation as it is for now, and then see how it ripples into other changes. If you give yourself an hour today to just do the filing, the following day you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna be the yes man or yes woman anymore, because you will know how good that felt to just say no and just pull yourself out of it. Because the second that you decide that I'm gonna have this hour for myself, or these couple of hours just for myself, and you're saying no. So that second, when you learn that it's okay to say no, you stop the hamster wheel and you're out of it and you're just chilling. And then you're gonna realize through that chilling how tired you were. There's a saying, if you can't find 20 minutes to rest, you need to rest for 2 hours. Once you realize that you are working so hard every day and you're exhausted to a point where you're spiraling and you need to take a time out, you need to stop everything to just regain your focus. The second you're gonna realize that this is not sustainable and that you're losing your mind, think about the fact that you actually deserve to have an easier life. Your life shouldn't be you running around like a headless chicken. You shouldn't be doing so many things that you can't have 20 minutes for yourself to just reconnect with yourself. It's not fair. Even if you don't believe in the soul contracts and reincarnation and everything, imagine if you have one lifetime to live. What are you doing with it? Why are you doing all of those things? Why so many things are your responsibilities and everybody else get to enjoy their lives while you're just doing and doing and doing and doing? You're just running in that hamster wheel non-stop. How is that fair? It's not your responsibility. Half of the stuff that you took on are not your responsibility. Somebody placed those expectations on you. Do you even know what your expectations are for yourself in this lifetime? Do you ever stop to think about that? I bet not. I bet now laying on that seat in a car, in the reclined position, now you're thinking about it. And that's good. You're gonna think about it now for a while. And then it's up to you what you're gonna do with that information. I suggest you're gonna start saying no. Because if after this realization it's gonna become harder and harder for you to carry on saying yes to people. One time, you wouldn't believe it would only take you stopping that hamster wheel once to actually instigate something in you, to instigate that fire of change, that fire of self-empowerment, of self-love, of feeling deserving of a better life, feeling a lot that you deserve a life where you are the main character. Because right now you're not the main character of your own life, are you? You're a tool helping everybody else live their lives. So you're helping your company achieve their goals. You're helping your manager to get that pay rise and that bonus. You're helping your wife to have the best life while she's out with her friends and doing this and that because you're looking after the kids, and you have no problem driving her drunk friends home at 3 a.m. after all day at work, and bringing some work back to work, putting kids to sleep and stuff like that. Or your husband, not your wife. It just no. No. It's not fair. It's not fair. Your life is not meant to be lived like this. Your life is for you to live, so you decide when you're ready to stop this hamster wheel. If you're gonna, after this realization, if you're gonna carry on doing things the way you used to do them, you will end up being one of those hurt people, because you're gonna get annoyed and angry at other people for them taking advantage of you, and oh my god, I'm doing this for you and this, and you don't appreciate it, and I don't get to live my life because of you, and boom 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 boom, you're gonna start attacking everybody. So that's the worst thing that you can do right now after this realization. So try instead take accountability and say, well, I allowed this and that and that and that to happen. How do I best communicate this now to that person that I'm no longer going to be doing it? And it doesn't have to be a formal conversation like this. You don't have to be civilized with yourself, you can be like, bitch, don't rip their heads off kind of thing. I'm not civilized with myself. We swear at each other all the time. There are better ways of doing it. So I kind of talked a bit about those open wounds that you don't heal, and then you blame everybody else, and then you go and heal and hurt everyone else for it. So this is like an open wound, right? I've been taken advantage of by so many people. So the best approach for you right now then is to stop allowing that, so you stop taking on anymore, and then you see how you give whatever is not yours back to whoever gave it to you. So whoever placed the expectation on you, you just say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And they're gonna be very upset. And if you can't rationalize with them and they don't see where you're coming from, then they shouldn't be in your life. It's that simple. It's not that easy sometimes, because they may be your family and, you know, your dependents and stuff like that. But you have to go through that. So it's gonna be hard for a bit, but you need to stand in your power. You need to stand your truth. It's not working for me, it's killing me. So, you know, you're not gonna die if you're gonna call a taxi at 3 a.m. to get home after the night out with your friends, right? It's not gonna kill you. Whereas it can fucking kill me, because I worked since 6 a.m. till 12, had 2 hours sleep, and now I need to wake up and just, you know, deal with drunk you and your friends. No, fuck it. There are taxis. You know, you got drunk, your own problem, basically. You know what I mean? Just give that back to that person. It's like, no, I'm not a taxi. I already have a full-time job. Thank you very much. And I also put the kids to bed and stuff like that, you know? It's not being unreasonable, but that person who's so used to you just always saying yes, of course they're gonna be upset, because, you know, nobody wants to do the work, right? Nobody wants to take their own accountability. It starts with you, though. So it doesn't matter what anybody else wants or does, what's the norm and blah blah blah. For you, you need them to fuck off, basically, and let you rest, because you need your resting time, and you need to share your accountabilities. And, you know, if you struggle to identify what those things are, it's like, would you ask them to pick you up at 3 a.m. when you're drunk? Unlikely, right? So if they're not gonna do that for you, why would you do that for them? It's equal give and take. It's one lens to look at things. You know, you're relying on me for this and this and this. Can I rely on you for the same things? No. Okay. Can I rely on you for something else? Maybe. No. Because usually takers are takers. You just do something for them. Or even if you can rely on them for something, how does it weigh on the scale? So on one side is what you do for them, on the other side is what they do for you. I'm pretty sure their side is going to be a bit lighter, right? If you're a giver, just think about it through that perspective. And also, once you identify your wounds and stuff, and then let's say you broke down from the hamster wheel, you stopped doing that, you claimed your energy back from everybody who were draining you, you start feeling better, you've gained the strength to eliminate people who are complete energy suckers, and you stop being energy donor to everybody else, and you step in your power, and you're like, oh my god, yes. So you broke up your relationships that didn't work, you broke up your friendships that didn't work, you left the job that was just draining you completely. I'd say you've done all of that, right? So you feel like you dealt with your life, right? Everything's awesome, blah blah blah. What about your childhood wounds, man? So now that all of this fizz, so if you imagine a Coke bottle that you shake, right? And then you open it, what's going to happen? All the fizz, all the foam is going to go out first. So all of this that you have to get rid of first, right? To step into your power, it's all the fizzy stuff. So once that's all out, you feel empowered and you feel like you dealt with life, and you feel like, oh, I can go and teach everybody else how to deal with life, because check me out, blah, 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 I got my bum and everything. No, man. So once that fizz is out of the bottle, what's left? The sticky stuff at the bottom of the bottle. So the fizzy, believe it or not, is just the surface level things. It's just the immediate things that need to go. Now you need to get into the sticky stuff that's left at the bottom. It's basically just cordial, and it's so sticky. It's gonna Yeah, and because you left the bottle open, you try and shake it and it's not gonna fizz that much anymore. It's not gonna be that easy to get rid of that stuff at the bottom, is it? So, but you have to, and if you won't, you're basically gonna end up in a situation where you're going to other people. Like in my example with the person that I think it was in part 1, that's who's very dear to me, going to other people to just heal their wounds and try. If you're not, you need to deal with your sticky stuff yourself. If you're not gonna do it, it's basically like having all the cuts. Imagine all of the wounds and all of the hurts, all of the scars and everything actually open on your body, so you can actually see it. So you're bleeding from the cuts. Some of them are deep, some of them are just surface level. They're gonna just take a couple of kisses and you're healed, basically. You know, you have some stretch marks on your belly, somebody kisses your belly and you're like, that scar is over. Now I love that part of me. You know, sometimes it's easy to fix these things when, you know, with some love and stuff like that. It's cool, but there are some wounds that need so much more healing. There are some wounds that are bleeding, that are inflamed and infected, and you try and get another person to come and heal it for you. It's like, imagine you have this massive wound in your solar plexus and beneath your boobies, right? Right in the middle of your stomach. You have this massive wound and it's like full of shit. Not shit, sorry. No, that's a bad location to say it's full of shit. It's full of... It's just completely inflamed. You got some dirt in it and stuff like that. It's like completely inflamed and you expected another person to come and fix it for you. It's not going to happen. It's like trying to apply a band-aid on it. So all these cuts, all of these wounds are open on you, and you go in and try to get sex from somebody and just, you know, satisfy that part of yourself, and then go and have maybe a fling at work and maybe ruining someone else's marriage and stuff like that, where you don't care because you just need attention at work because you're just leading somebody on. Maybe it's a biggie to that person, but it's not biggie for you because all you need is attention. So that's trying to just, you know, the wound, that bleeding, infected, inflamed wound is like, well, I don't love myself, right? So I'm just gonna get that affection from anybody else until I start loving myself through them, basically. So if, you know, I have 10,000 followers all loving me and I get this attention and they're all, you know, I post a picture and I have so many likes and people are commenting saying how good I look, blah, 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 blah. Those are all just plasters that you try to stick on that wound. What are you doing? It's not gonna work, is it? It's plasters on the fucking inflamed wound. No, man. It's gonna fall. They're just gonna fall. If anything, you're probably just infecting it more, because then you feel kind of ashamed of yourself that you even needed that in the first place, that you even tried that, and you're like, seriously, how low am I? It's just all of those things. Just really, really think about how anything that you do and you make it okay based on your own experiences. So that example where you don't love yourself, right? So you try to get affection from other people to the point where, because somebody else hurt you, you make it okay in your head that it doesn't matter if you're gonna hurt that person. If you're leading them on, they're already in a relationship and maybe they're thinking about leaving that person, they're falling completely in love, but you don't want them. You don't care because somebody did that to you. You don't care about consequences. It's almost, you know, we get back to the hurt people, right? So if you don't deal with things that happen to you, you don't deal with your end of a bargain, right? So you allowed it at the least to happen to you. So what's broken in you? Why did you settle for that? Why did you allow that to happen? If you don't deal with that, you're gonna go and you're gonna become the very person that hurt you. So you can go and hurt the person who loves you unconditionally, who loves you dearly and would give the world to you, and you are destined to be with. You may go and hurt that people in the ways that somebody else hurt you. That person is gonna suffer because you haven't dealt with your stuff. You didn't take accountability. Think about it. So it's a chain reaction. When hurt people, it's a chain reaction, unless chain reaction or a hamster wheel, right? So you get out of one and you jump on another. You need to try and avoid that, because then you're just gonna generate more, and then that person, you hurt that person, and they're gonna go and do the same for another one, and everybody's becoming this bitter people. And as I said, I remember having a conversation with one of my managers at some point as well, and he was like, yeah, my friend is getting married this weekend, it's round number 1. I was like, what do you mean? Well, he's getting married before 30. It's not gonna last, is it? As if it's a norm already. So that's how those norms become this round number 1, round number 2. It shouldn't be like that. If we each took accountability, it would just get, those chains would not exist. Those hamster wheels would disappear. We don't have to do it. If we only go through these things again and again and again, it's because when something bad happens to us, we feel like it's okay to just, if I got hurt, I'm just gonna get hurt back. Does it make you feel better? No. It doesn't make anybody feel better. Why are we doing this? It's because we numb our brain. It's because we're overworked. It's because we don't stop. That's why. Imagine if something bad happened to you and you stopped it, and you just stepped into your power, and you're like, no, you know what? It stops with me. So it happened. It stops with me. That's the approach I'm taking. It really, really works. It really, really works. So yes, my mom's mom was with narcissist. My mom's sister was with narcissist. My mom, my sister, and me all ended up with narcissists. It ends with me. So my sister's not gonna go there. I talk too much about it. She's been through too much as well. She had a few. I only had one, but for a very long time. We're not gonna do it anymore. So if it stops with us, we inspire our friends, we inspire other people that we talk to. Well, I have larger audience, or it will become larger audience at some point, hopefully. So I could help more people, so that my story could help more people. And what we're doing, if it stops with you, that means your kids are not going to have to go through that, because your karma, because when you think about your own situation, how much of what you're going through is your generational karma that you inherited through your bloodline. Usually men inherits from the masculine bloodline, and females inherits from the feminine. So as I said, grandmother, my mom, my aunt, me, my sister, it's generational. It just follows through these patterns. So if you don't have kids yet, really, really think about it. When you choose the person that you're going to create your life with, think about, if you don't deal with things, if you don't heal those things, your kids are going to inherit that karma, and they're going to have to go through it. Had my mom stopped it, I wouldn't have to waste 11 years. But now it's not a waste, right? Because I'm now healed, and I won't allow that in my life, and I'm helping others as well. Maybe more people are not going to allow that, but it's because I took accountability. Think about it. I got out of the hamster wheel, so can you. One step at a time. Whenever you feel like you're spiraling or triggered, stop the hamster wheel. Love you lots. Nikki.